Glaciers are very important locally for the biodiversity and outdoor activities, but they are also important very far away because they feed glacier-fed rivers all the way to the sea or the ocean, and they serve as habitat for thousands of species, including humans. We are using the water coming from glaciers and snow for everyday life. We will lose everything if we don't protect glaciers. I don't think that when you live far away from the mountains, you can imagine how much dependent on snow and glaciers you are. Hundreds of millions of people rely on glaciers for their water.
Glaciers are our best indicator of climate change. The recession we've seen over the last 150 years is such a wake-up call to what's going on.
At the global scale, between 20 and 50% of the glacier lost at the end of the century.
Climate change is obviously causing the glaciers to retreat, and that's a direct result of warming temperatures.
The biggest problem that people downstream will face is that the snow melt will come earlier and it will come in smaller amounts, so they will be missing this water later in the season. It's important in the European Alps, but then you have other regions in the world where it's even crazier. In the Himalayas, for instance, and in the western US.
More and more alpine rivers are warming, and that can have an impact on the species living on the river.
Without the insects, you don't have the fish, and the warmer the water gets, the less likely those insects are to survive. Over time, that's going to lead to a population demise and collapse.
To face climate change, we will need citizens, we will need public services, states and politics, and we also need business world.
It's the choices that each company makes, the type of materials that they're sourcing that impacts the environment. We cannot forget that we cannot do business in a world that is in shambles.
We can consume less.
But the problem needs to be tackled at a larger scale. And so we need to encourage politicians that are brave to take drastic measures.
We've got to be doing it now, not next week or next year or after the next election. We've got to be doing that today.